V and V, okay, easy one, very easy. Bonus question, escape velocity is root 2 times orbital velocity. We have already done that, right? Escape velocity is root 2 times orbital velocity, easy one. Okay, a planet moving along an elliptical orbit is closest to the sun at a distance r1. See, this is the sun, right? Let us make the planet here. Okay, planet is closest to the sun at a distance r1. This distance is r1, and it is farther away from the sun at a distance r2, right? Okay, this is called perihelion or perigee. This is called aphelion or apogee. Okay, right? V1 and V2 the velocities. Let the velocity be V1, let the velocity be V2, and we have to calculate the ratio of V1 and V2. We know that angular momentum has to remain conserved. L1 is equal to L2. So mv1 into r1 is equal to mv2 into r2. This value of small m is this small m is going to cancel. So v1 into r1 is equal to v2 into r2. v1 divided by v2 is equal to r2 divided by r1, right? Do we have an option here? Yes, we have an option here. It is r2 by r1, right, dear students? Kindly note down. What is the minimum energy required to launch a satellite of mass small m from the surface of the earth of mass, okay, capital M and radius r in a circular orbit at an altitude of height 2r, right? See, when the satellite is at the surface of the earth, see, let us assume that it is at rest only. So it will be having only the potential energy, not the kinetic energy. So its initial energy is going to be only potential, not kinetic, which is minus g mm divided by r. Okay, yes. When it is launched to a orbit which is at an altitude of 2r, right, then the total energy of the satellite becomes, we have the formula for total energy, minus g mm divided by 2 times distance from the center of the 2 times small r. Okay, so the extra energy that we need is actually the difference of these two energies, ef minus ei, okay, which is minus g mm by 6r plus g mm by r, right? So this comes out to be 5 by 6 g mm by r, dear students, right? Kindly note down, dear students, this is the correct answer. This was a good question rather, right? Periodic time of a satellite revolving above earth, okay, above earth's surface at a height equal to capital R. We have a formula for time period of a satellite. It is 2 pi r plus h raised to the power 3 by 2 divided by r root g. Okay, just substitute the value of height to be r, you will get the answer. Value of h is equal to r, you will get the answer, right? If gravitational force between the two objects, this is an important question. If gravitational force between two objects were proportional to 1 by r, right, where r is the separation between them, then a particle in circular orbit under such a force would have its orbital speed proportional to, see, gravitational force is inversely proportional to r. Gravitational force provides necessary centripetal force, right? So v square is actually constant, v is not dependent on r, so v is dependent on r raised to the power 0, I suppose, right? Okay, see, sometimes we are asked with some questions like, if force is proportional to r to the power n, then square of time period will be proportional to r to the power which? So it will be proportional to r to the power 1 minus n, right? Suppose you put the value of n to be minus 2, which is actually the case, r force is inversely proportional to r square, then t square is proportional to r cube, true. If say velocity if velocity is proportional to r to the power m, then square of time period is proportional to r to the power 2 minus m. Right, dear students? Okay. So kindly note down. These are very good shortcuts. You can easily apply them. Okay. If a body describes a circular motion under the inverse square field, okay. So time taken to complete one revolution t is related to the radius of the circular orbit as. We know that when force is proportional to r square, r to the power minus 2, t square is proportional to r to the power 1 minus 2, that is t square is proportional to r cube. Okay. Now you can, if you want to calculate that, you can easily do that also. See, mv square by r is actually proportional to 1 by r square, right? So velocity is proportional to, v square is proportional to 1 by r, I suppose. V is proportional to 1 by root r. Time period is given by 2 pi r by speed. Velocity is proportional to 1 by root r. So time period is proportional to r. 1 by root r comes out to be r to the power 1 by 2. T proportional to r to the power 3 by 2. And obviously t square proportional to r cube, right? Okay. So we have a formula t square proportional to r cube, which is actually the case. Okay. Kindly note down, dear students. If r denotes the distance between the sun and the earth, angular momentum, we have already done the angular momentum concept, which was the case of satellite, or it is the case of sun and planet. It means the same. Let us assume sun to be at the center, right? Let us consider orbit to be circular. Mass of the sun, this is mass of earth, okay, mass of planet. Angular momentum, this is small r. Angular momentum is going to be mvr, right? Gravitational force provides the necessary centripetal force. So gm m by r square is going to provide the centripetal force. Okay. Small m gets cancelled. So we get VO as under root capital G mass of sun divided by r into r. Obviously angular momentum is proportional to root r. This we have already done in case of satellites also. If r denotes the distance between the sun and the earth, then angular momentum of earth around the sun is proportional to, okay, we don't have an option, both the options are same, it must be root r. Okay, there was some printing error in the question, right? Yes, it is indeed. Okay, can you note down, dear students? See, black hole is an object where the escape velocity is greater than or equal to speed of light. Even light cannot escape from black hole. This is the formula for escape velocity under root 2 gm by r, and it must be greater than or equal to speed of light, right? Now, we are given with an elliptical orbit. This is an elliptical orbit, right? Okay. We have many points here. This is point C, this is point D, this is point B, this is point A. Let this be point E. Sun is situated here, right? Where the speed will be maximum, right? We know that angular momentum remains conserved. So angular momentum is constant, right? That means m, velocity at A, distance A is equal to constant. Distance of point A from the sun, RA, right? M is a constant. Now velocity at A is inversely proportional to distance at A. Since point A is closest to the sun, velocity at point A must be maximum. Point A is closest to sun, so velocity at point A has to be maximum. This is what we say conservation of angular momentum. A planet moving around the sun sweeps area A1 in 2 days. This is area A1. This area is swept by the planet, rather, sorry, it is A1. Here, A1 is here. This area is A1. This area is swept by the planet in 2 days. In 1 day, planet sweeps A1 by 2 area, right? A2 is the area swept by the planet in 3 days. This is A2, right? So in 1 day, planet sweeps A2 by 3 area, and A3, this A3 is the area swept by the planet in 6 days. So in 1 day, it sweeps A3 by 6. Multiply by 6. 3A1 is equal to 2A2 is equal to A3, right? This is what we say aerial velocity is constant. Radius vector joining the planet and the sun sweeps equal areas in equal interval of time. Since the time interval was unequal, 2 days, 3 days and 6 days, so we made the time interval to be equal, 1 day in each case, and obviously we have got the answer, which is 3A1 is 2A2 is equal to A3, right? So now, suppose the gravitational force varies inversely as the nth power of distance. That means force is proportional to, inversely means r raised to the power minus n, okay? Time period is proportional, time period of planet is proportional to, okay? This is actually mr omega square proportional to r raised to the power minus n, omega square proportional to r raised to the power minus n minus 1, right? Omega is going to be 2 pi by 9 period square proportional to r raised to the power minus of n plus 1. Just take the reciprocal. T square is proportional to r raised to the power n plus 1. Oh sorry, it is 1 n, it is just n plus 1. Now t is proportional to r raised to the power n plus 1 divided by 2, dear students. Do we have an option here? Yes, we have an option here. Okay. Kindly note down, dear students. This was a very good question. This is actually a very important question. This is a fact-based graph. Dependence of intensity of field of Earth. Earth is a solid sphere, dear students. Earth is a solid sphere. So it is a straight line from center of the Earth to the surface. After that, it is a curve. It varies inversely as 1 by r square. Directly proportional to r, inversely proportional to r square. So this is the correct option. Okay. Again, same question. Which one of the following plots represents the variation of gravitational field on a particle with distance r due to a thin spherical shell? Field. Field inside the shell is 0, right? Yes. Which of the following represents the plots the variation of gravitational field? Field inside the shell is 0, right? It is 0 inside. It should be in the negative direction, but okay, we don't have any graph in the negative direction, so let us mark this graph to be correct. 0 inside, maximum at the surface, then varies with 1 by r square, okay? Then it varies with 1 by r square, right, dear students? Now, this is going to be the last question. An artificial satellite is moving in a circular orbit, right, around the Earth, has a total energy of E0. Potential energy is, you know that if total energy is E0, potential energy is, dear students, 2 times of E0. Okay, it is 2 times of E0. Easy question. Kindly note down, dear students.